Hello students, welcome back to this agronomy session. So today we will discuss about weed management. So what is weed? Weed is any crop, any plant, not crop, any plant that is undesirable at some moment, right? All weeds are unwanted plants, but all unwanted plants may not be weed. Okay, if you know, suppose we don't know the use of that plant, then that is called as weed. But whenever that we just find out some economic value of that plant, then that is not considered as weed. There are parasitic weeds, different types of weeds. Let's discuss. There are parasitic weeds that depends on host plant for nutrition. Then obligate weed, that is incapable of surviving in wild community. They must need any crop climate. They are associated always with crops. So those are called as obligate weed. They cannot survive in wild community. Then objectionable weed, their seeds difficult to separate once mixed with crop seed, that is known as objectionable weed. Noxious weed, they are undesirable, troublesome weeds, difficult to control. Facultative weed, they present in both wild community and sometimes escape to cropland. Then alien weed, those are alien weed means they are from foreign origin. Okay, they are not native to a particular area. Then associated weed, they are always associated with crops or they are associated with particular season. Then satellite weed generally they seed seed at the same time of crop harvesting, so that it is very difficult to identify them from crop seed. Then weed management consists of both immediate and long-term effect like control and eradication and control, maybe preventive measures also taken for weed management. So there are around 30,000 weeds listed. So from that 18,000 causes serious disease and 18 are most serious. Okay, so there are certain negative impact due to weeds. They are poor quality of produce. Okay, weeds causes poor quality of produce of crop like Agenesia indica, Striga litura. They decrease the quality of sugarcane juice. Then wild onion and wild garlic, if cattle consume the wild onion and wild garlic weed, then the flavor of milk is turned out to be pungent kind of, then off flavor to milk. Okay, Argemon mexicana in mustard or wheat, that those are poisonous. Then cockle burr, Xanthium, they reduce the quality of sheep wool. Then Agenesia indica, they reduce the quality of tea quality. Okay, teas. Then human health problems are also seen due to weeds, like hay fever and asthma due to Franceria species. Then dermatitis or skin allergy due to Parthenium, Ambrosia and Helenium species. Itching and inflammation, certain weeds they cause itching and inflammation like Ortica, Mucuna. Then sleeping sickness caused by Set's fly. The malaria, yellow fever, encephalitis, they are caused by Pistia and Salvinia. Those are aquatic weeds. So they are the site of mosquito breeding. Then again, they are the host. They are the host of different pests or diseases in different crops, like in rice, the pest stem borer, parasite or live in the weeds like Echinoclea and Panicum. They are the weed host of stem borer. In maize and tomatoes, stalk borer, stalk borer, beetle and cutworm, they generally prefer to live in Chenopodium album. Then in castor, hairy caterpillar, the weed host is Crotalaria species. In citrus fruits, fruit moth is there. They prefer to live in Tinospora caudifolia. Then in tomato wilt, the weed host is Moranthus and Portulaca. Then in banana, pest like virus and nematode, they prefer to live in Camelina species. Then in wheat, black rust, the weed host is Agropyron repens. So you have to remember all these points. Then some animal health problems are there like Lantana, Rhododendron, Sorghum halicens, Melilotus. They cause some animal health problem also. Then water contamination like water weed, aquatic weeds like Typha, then this kind of like Salvinia, Pistia, they form they do water contaminate. Then reduction in land value like Cyperus, Sanodon, they reduce the land value. Then with this negative impact of weeds, there are certain positive benefits of weeds. like evolved as cultivars. Some weeds, they evolved as cultivars. Generally they are not cultivars earlier. With evolution, with man's certain care, like certain management practices, they become cultivars today. So there are development of new crops, like they have certain hardy genotypes which can tolerate different stress level, so we can use them to develop new crops. Source of resistance genes, as I said. Then fodder value, weeds have certain fodder value, then they can be used as green manure, then and composting. Then they have certain medicinal value. In fact, they have certain medicinal value, like rather more than the crops, different crops, more than different crops, they have certain medicinal value, right? Then manufacturing of other products, which are used in manufacturing other products. Then weed ecology and classification. What is weed ecology? Weed ecology is the interrelationship between organisms like weeds and their environment. So what are the biotic and abiotic environment present there associated with weed, that is known as weed ecology. So it is very important to know the distribution, prevalence, competing ability, behavior and survival of weed to know about the weed ecology. What is persistence of weed? Persistence is the adaptive ability of weed to any environment. That is depends on climatic factor, edaphic factor and biotic factor. What are the climatic factors that influence the persistence? That is humid. Then what are the climatic factors like humid, mesophytic, xerophytic weed, photoperiod sensitive or insensitive, right? Then edaphic factor like basophile, acidophile, neutrophile, soil moisture tolerant, soil moisture susceptible weeds. These are kind of. Then biotic factors like competing ability of the weeds with other crops and weeds, right? So these are certain characteristics or certain factors which affect the persistence of weeds. Then survival mechanism, how weeds survive. They generally they have the more seed producing ability. Then they have certain several dispersal mechanism also there. Then they have dormancy, they have vegetative reproduction strategies. All these actually help in their survival mechanism. Then classification of weeds, for grouping them into common attributes, easy in planning for control measures, we need classification. Okay, we do classification for that purpose. For what? Like to group them, and which will ease us in controlling the weeds, right? So based on ontogeny or life cycle, weeds are classified as annual, biennial and perennial. And annual weeds again classified as Kharif annual, Rabi annual, summer annual, multi-season annual. You can see the example of these weeds in textbooks. Then perennial weeds also like classified as simple perennial, bulbous perennial, creeping perennial, etc. Then according to nature of stem, weeds are herb, shrub, bushes, trees, filamentous. According to forms of stem, they are erect or strong, weak stem weeds. Then based on habitat, they are having terrestrial weeds, aquatic weeds, amphibious weeds. Then site of predominance, based on site of predominance, they are classified as cropland weed, fallow land weed, grassland weed or pasture land weed, playground weed, rail or roadside weed, lawn and public garden weed. Then based on soil reaction, there are acidophile, halophile, like basophile. They prefer to grow in saline soil. Those are known as basophile. Then acidic soil, those are known as acidophile. So based on depends on other host like total parasite, semi-parasite, independent. Based on origin, they are having classified as native or exotic or alien weed. Then crop weed association and competition. What is crop weed association? Crops, generally weeds prefer to grow along with crops because with certain management we favor the weed dissemination, weed growth and persistence, like tillage. Then we are applying enough irrigation at particular stages, we are applying more fertilizer, more nutrition. So weeds generally prefer to grow at those points, those areas. So there is crop association. Then what is crop weed competition? Crop weed competition is the struggle for survival and existence, because crops and weeds both are having same morphological anatomical features and they require the same nutrients, same resources to grow. like they have competition over carbon dioxide, nutrient, water, space and light. Then what is critical period of crop weed competition? That is the period when if we go for weed management and weed control, then we can achieve maximum production. If we skip weed management, weed control in that critical period, then there might be every chance that crop failure or maybe highly crop reduction of crop yield might have seen. Then what is the critical? There is a thumb rule, that is 1/3 to 1/4 of initial crop period is known as critical weed competition period, and we have to go for weeding at that period. Then what is allelopathy? Allelopathy, generally crops or weeds, certain crops and weeds, they secrete some allelochemicals which hamper the growth and production of other crops or weeds. So allelochemicals include phenolic acid, coumarin, terpenoid, flavonoid, etc. They are like exudates from root, leachate, seed, leaf, decomposition of dead plants, etc. They are released by washing, leaching, exudation, volatilization, etc. Then weeds, there are certain allelopathic effects like weeds on crop, weeds on weeds, crop on weeds. You just go and read the textbook. Methods of weed control: we have preventive method, where we are not allowing weed to enter our field. Then eradicate method, where we are totally eliminating weeds from our field, like total kilo. Then we are if we are flaming the weeds like that. Then there are certain control measures which are having like cultural control, then mechanical or physical control, then biological control and chemical control. In cultural control, we have seed bed, tillage, time of sowing, crop rotation, summer plowing, fertilizer use. These are the cultural methods. Then mechanical or physical method, we have hoeing, pulling, tillage, digging, sickling, burning, or flame cultivation, flooding, mulching, solarization, chemical stimulation. These are certain mechanical or physical method of weed control. Then there are biological weed control, that is also divided into biocontrol agent and bioherbicide. Biocontrol agents are generally non-specific, and then bioherbicides, they are self-perpetuating and they are best used for alien weeds. Then to maintain weed population below level of economic injury, we are generally prefer to go for biological weed control. So then chemical weed control, it has started with Dinosev synthesized in 1933. Then MCPA and 2,4-D, they are produced in synthesized in 1945. They have certain advantages and disadvantages. What are the advantages? They are quick acting and they can be directed sprayed on weeds, and they have high potential, and they are generally they are cost effective also. Then what are the limitations? Like environmental pollution, there is drift hazard, there may be magnification in biomass. So these are they have certain negative impact on balance of predator and pest, different microorganisms and all. So these are certain limitations. Then health hazards might occur when any human is just facing some herbicide or chemical intake through skin or eyes or none. Then these are certain weed control method, weed management method. Then what are the classification of herbicide? Herbicides has generally 3 names. One is common name, one is chemical name, another is trade name. So first herbicide that is used, that is copper sulfate for dicot weeds in 1896. Then H2SO4 sulfuric acid, that is used during 1909. Then sodium chlorate, otherwise known as MOTHOB, for controlling deep-rooted perennial. And AMET, that is NS4SO3 NS2, that is used for woody plants in 1945. So these are basically inorganic herbicides. Then organic herbicides, use of organic herbicides started during the synthesis of 2,4-D, mostly popular during that time in 1945. Organic herbicides are generally more than 90% whatever herbicides we are using nowadays is organic herbicide, and about 50% of herbicide among them are photosynthesis inhibitor herbicides. So what are the organic herbicides we generally used? Like aliphatic acid, Dalapon, TCA. Then anilids and amides, alachlor, butachlor, CDA, propalachlor, propanil, pronamide, naphthalene, then acrolein. These are comes under anilids and amide group. Then what are the herbicides in aniline and nitrophenol group? Like dinitroaniline, nitraline, pinoxaline, trifluralin, fluchloralin, DNOC, Dinosae, PCP, nitrophen, fluridone. Then organoarsenical like DSMA, MAA, MSMA. Benzoics and phenolic acids like chloramben, dicamba, phenac, oxyfluorophane. Then carbamates and thiocarbamates like dichloromate, asulum, barban, chlorpropham, propham, EPTC, benthiocav, dialate, trialate, CDEC, molinate, bentazone, etc. Then heterocyclic like bipyridinium. What are the herbicides like diquat, paraquat, pyridine, picloram, pyridazine like malic hydrazide, pyridimidyl, bromacil, torbacil. Then triazines like atrazine, simazine, propazine, ametrine, prometrine, terbutaline, metribuzin. Then aminotriazone like amitrole, endothal, oxidizone. Then hormone type herbicides like phenoxyacetic acid group 2,4-D, 2,4,5-T, MCPA. Then phenoxypropionic acid group like dicloprop, silvex, mecoprop. Then nitriles herbicides like bromoxynil, ioxinil, diclofenyl. Then substituted urea, alkyl herbicide, chloroxuron, diuron, phenoxuron, flumeturon, monouron. Then alkoxyl herbicide like linuron, chlorobenuron, like that. Then based on time of application, we have pre-plant incorporation herbicide, pre-emergence herbicide, and post-emergence herbicide. Pre-plant incorporation herbicides are fluchloralin, trifluralin. They are incorporated in soil. They are generally incorporated before sowing of seed. What is pre-emergence herbicide? They are applied after sowing but before emergence. What is post-emergence? They are applied in standing crop in the initial period of growth. They are again classified as early post-emergence, late post-emergence, then wider window herbicides also there. Then selectivity of herbicides. Some herbicides are selective, some herbicides are non-selective. What is selectivity? Selectivity is the term when we are applying a herbicide and it is killing a weed, particular weed, and it is just escaping the crop plant, then that herbicide is selective herbicide. So what are the selective herbicide like triazine, atrazine, simazine, then monouron, diuron, then our 2,4-D. These are some of the selective herbicide. Then what are the non-selective herbicide? Like glyphosate, then diquat, paraquat. These are non-selective herbicides. They are broad killer, like they can kill crop and weed as well. Then selectivity is a like relative term. Whenever we are applying non-selective herbicide at higher dose, they become whenever we are applying selective herbicide at a higher dose, then also they become non-selective. So selectivity is a relative term. Then based on activity, there are certain herbicides which are soil active. Then there are certain herbicides which are foliage active also. Then herbicide formulation. What is herbicide formulation? You can check out my previous video also. I have one video about herbicide formulation, by which technical active ingredient are made ready for use by mixing with liquid or dry diluent by addition of adjuvants. Technical ingredient means that is the commercial product. So it comprises of active ingredient, then carrier or solvent, then adjuvants. What is the active ingredient? Active ingredient is that particular chemical which have certain role in inhibiting the growth and yield of that particular weed. Okay, so chemical stability, more the active ingredient in the trade product, the stability of that herbicide will be more. Then particle size also influence the herbicide formulation. Particle size influence biological activity and physical properties. It depends on weed biology, chemical and physical properties of AI. The nature of target, quality and quantity of the deposit, etc. Then distribution of particle size in a formulation can be determined by microscopic methods, sieving, elutriation or sedimentation method. Then there are different types of formulation like wettable powder, where finely divided solid particles of less than 3 micron is used. Then soluble powder, that is completely dissolved in water. Emulsifiable concentrates, they are having certain stable emulsion, concentrated emulsion, then miscible oil. Okay, Then solution concentrate, then granules like 1 to 20% of active ingredient present in granules, then fumigants. These are certain herbicide formulation. Then there are herbicide application technique. Herbicide application, broadly there are two types of herbicide application. One is foliage active herbicide and another is soil active herbicide. Again, foliage active herbicides are classified as blanket application, directed spray, protected spray, spot application. In blanket application, we generally uniformly apply the herbicide over the crop area, and we are using highly selective herbicide in blanket application. Then in direct spray, we are using applying herbicide in between crop rows to avoid crop foliage. Then there we can use partly selective herbicides. Then in protected spray, we are generally applying non-selective herbicide and with protective cover. Then spot application, generally we apply small patches of herbicide in small patches of weeds. So these are foliage active herbicide. Then soil active herbicides like surface application, subsurface layering, broadcast and band application. Then fumigant application. In surface application, like substituted triazine, urea, anilid, and here incorporation also done in EPDC, trifluralin, dialate, because they are more prone to photo decomposition. EPDC generally incorporated in 5 to 7.5 cm, trifluralin and dialate, they are generally incorporated in 2 to 5 cm below ground. Then surface layering, we have 7 to 10 cm below surface, we can apply the herbicide like for perennial weeds, and special use of flood nozzle we can use. Then broadcast and band application. Then fumigant application, we use soil injection like chloropicrine, then plastic cover like methyl bromide, then metham we can use in this method. Then herbicide carrier, why herbicide carrier is used? To ease the application. Then active ingredient versus acid equivalent. Acid equivalent is a obsolete term. Actually, previously when the herbicide active ingredient, it releases some acid exudate, or it has certain acid impact on acidic impact on soil, then we use generally acid equivalent term. But this is mostly nowadays active ingredient is used. So how to calculate herbicide quantity, whatever the trade product, how to quantify that trade product. So quantity is equal to dose by AI into 100, what is the dose recommended, and divided by AI, what is the active ingredient present in that formulation, into 100. Before herbicide application, calibration of sprayer is also needed. Then there are certain controlled droplet approach. We are using ULV application like Herbie and Micron Herbin sprayer in controlled droplet application, that is CDA. Then there are certain directed contact application also there. We use recirculating sprayer, weed wick wiper, like rope wick application, or roller applicator. So these are the direct contact application method. Then granular application also there. Then time of application, based on time of application, I have already mentioned, like pre-plant incorporation, pre-emergence and post-emergence. Then precautions used during herbicide application, we have to cover our hand, face, eyes, then skin, and we should protect them from herbicide droplets. Then we have to apply herbicide when the wind speed is less, because there is every chance of drift hazard. Then what are the combination, like synergistic or antagonistic effect of different agrochemicals can be taken into consideration. Then every time after application, we have to just wash properly that herbicide container or herbicide applicator, so that it would not seen like reaction whenever next time we are applying herbicide. So we have like weed control efficiency. What is weed control efficiency? That is the weed dry matter in control plot minus weed dry matter in treated plot divided by weed dry matter in treated plot into 100, or weed population in control plot minus weed population in treated plot divided by weed population in treated plot into 100. That is weed control efficiency. Then weed index, that is yield in weed free plot minus yield in treated plot divided by yield in weed free plot into 100. So both of these used to find out the efficiency of herbicide. Then what is the weed smoothing efficiency? Generally, if we are going for intercropping, then there is a smoothing effect of weeds because the spacing here is reduced, and though there is a less chance of weed growth there. So whenever we are going for intercropping, there is a smoothing effect on weed due to the canopy spreading. The weeds cannot grow. So what is the weed smoothing efficiency? How it is calculated? Weed density at weed dry matter at intercrop plot. Weed dry matter in sole crop minus weed dry matter in intercrop divided by weed dry matter in sole crop. That is the weed smoothing efficiency. Then phytotoxicity and hydrotoxicity of herbicide. What is hydrotoxicity? Toxicity caused by herbicide. So how we can score them? The score is from 1 to 10 based on percentage injury level 1 to 100%. So if the injury level in whenever we are applying any herbicide, if the injury or phytotoxicity level is 1 to 10% of population is affecting, so we can score that phytotoxicity of that herbicide 1. Then 10 to 20% if it is affecting, then we can rate it 2. So 0 to 10% if it is 1, then 10 to 20% then it is 2, then 10 to 20 to 30% it is 3, like that only. So absorption and translocation of herbicide. So for how herbicide act, whenever we are applying any herbicide to weed or crop, then it actually first it absorbs in inside the leaf, or any, if we are applying in surface, then it absorbed by root, then it translocate through the xylem or phloem, and it reach to the site of action where it actually inhibit the biomolecule, the biochemical cycle, whatever it intended to use, affect. So in that way herbicide actually act. So absorption and differential rate of absorption and translocation is the basis of herbicide selectivity. Selectivity depends on differential absorption, differential translocation, differential rate of metabolism. So generally herbicide absorption is of two types. One is non-polar and another is polar. Like non-polar, in case of non-polar, symplastic movement occurs, and in polar, apoplastic movement occur. Then during absorption of herbicide, there are certain barriers present in leaf surface or foliage. Those are cuticle membrane, cutin, cuticle. All these are certain barriers. So they are actually certain barrier. They are lipophilic. Certain barrier they are hydrophilic, like that. So accordingly, the selectivity also differs. So whenever we are applying like a herbicide, after absorption, it moves inside the plant through translocation. So there may be apoplastically it can move through xylem with water. Then symplastically it can move through phloem along with the food material. Amibol, certain herbicide they can transported both in xylem and phloem also. Then factors affecting herbicide absorption and translocation. There are certain plant factors which affect herbicide absorption and translocation. There are certain climatic factor, then soil factor, and chemical nature of herbicide is also affecting the absorption and translocation of herbicide. Then what is adjuvant? Adjuvant is any chemical that enhance the selectivity and shelf life of herbicide. So there are 8 kinds of adjuvants. First one is surfactant, then stabilizers, then coupling agent, humectant, deposit builder, compatibility agent, activator, and drift control agent. These are 8 kinds of adjuvant, remember. So what are the surfactants? Surfactants improves emulsifying, dispersing, spreading, and wetting property of the herbicide. Then wetting, these are basically wetting agents, spreaders, and penetrants. Then surfactant again divided into non-ionic surfactant like S145, 2-in-20 surfactant WK. Then anionic surfactant, Santomos, Vasolo, T, etc. Then cationic surfactant like quaternary O, aliquot, etc. Then stabilizers, they are generally used for obtaining stable emulsion on suspension. What is emulsifiers? There are emulsifiers and dispersant. Stabilizers are basically emulsifiers and dispersant. Emulsifiers are 15-33, 15S9, Turgitol, NPX, FBS, Solvate. Then dispersants are multifilm, triad, biofilm, etc. Then coupling agents. Coupling agents are solvent and co-solvents. Basically the examples are lanolin, carbowax, benzene, xylene, and acetone, etc. Then humectants are also there, like hygroscopic agents. They make the herbicide hygroscopic. so that it is not dried earlier, and it can retain over the surface of any crop or weed for a longer time to make its herbicide available to that plant or crop or weed. Okay, so those are humicants. They prevent drying like glycol, deposit buildup. There are stickers and filming agent which make the herbicide deposit over the weed surface. Then compatibility agent, they are actually used with when herbicide is used with other agrochemicals, then compatibility agents are used to prevent the antagonistic effect for easy compatibility. Then there are activators which activate the herbicide activity, like which induce the toxicity of herbicide, like phytoblend oil. Then nitrogenous fertilizers are also there. Then there are certain drift control agent which are like invert emulsion, sodium alginate, decazin, particulate agent like Norbac we can use. So these are certain kind of adjuvants we discussed. Then Safenor, what is Safenor? That protect the crop plants from inhibitory effect of like herbicides. They even protect the seeds from absorption of herbicide in soil whenever soil applied herbicides are applied. The substance protectants or antidotes are substance used along with herbicide to protect crop plants from possible damage by herbicide. So there are antidotes or Safenors used for seed dressing are Na, Seometrenil. Then they can be like tank mixed like dichloramide. Then certain examples are Na or dichloramide. Seometrenil, do not confuse seometrenil with Safenor and herbicides. They can be there can be any question like that, which among the following is not a herbicide. So you can find seometrenil also there in that option. So do not this is not a herbicide, this is a Safenor. This is another chemical which is used as Safenor along with the herbicide. Then CGA 133205, benoxacon, phenchlorine, fluorozole, etc. These are certain example of Safenors. Then certain herbicide mechanism. What is mode and what is mechanism? The total path from absorption, starting from absorption of herbicide inside the weed or inside the body or inside the foliage to translocation to metabolism, the total path is known as the mode of action of that herbicide. Then what is mechanism of action of that herbicide? The actual metabolism, which not metabolism but actual event which kills that herbicide or which inhibit that growth of that herbicide, that is known as mechanism of that herbicide. So what are the biochemical reaction and what are the herbicides that responsible for that biochemical reaction? Let's discuss. So there are certain photosynthesis inhibitor herbicides. They are again classified as electron transport blockage. Herbicides used for this are triazine, urease, pyrazone, dinosave, propanil, then benzonitrile. So these inhibit electron transport blockage. Okay. They induce electron transport blockage and inhibit photosynthesis in plants, in weeds. Then electron transport deflection, which herbicides are resulted in electron transport deflection and inhibit photosynthesis. Those are quaternary ammonium herbicides or biopyridinium herbicides like paraquat, diquat. Then certain herbicides, they inhibit the photophosphorylation. Those are porphyridone and ether. So these herbicides ultimately inhibit the photosynthesis of weeds. Then certain herbicides, they interfere with normal respiration. Again, the mechanisms are uncoupler of phosphorylation and inhibit the glycolysis. So herbicide like dinosave and etho, they uncouple the phosphorylation. Then herbicide like copper and arsenical herbicides, they inhibit the glycolysis. Then interfere with plant growth. There are certain mitotic poisons like malic hydrazide, carbamate, dinitrolanin, CDA, DCPA. These are certain herbicides which inhibit mitosis, and they are considered as mitotic poison. Then certain herbicides like phenoxyalkanoic acid, picloram, benzoylide, they inhibit the cell proliferation. Then herbicide like naphthalene, they are known as anti-geotropism. So there are certain herbicides which interfere with biosynthesis reactions like aliphatic acid, chloroacetyl and endothyl herbicides. They inhibit the protein synthesis. EPTC inhibits the lipid synthesis. and dinosave, aliphatic acid, ethoacrolein, they inhibit the cell membrane permeability. Then triazole, they inhibit the carotenoid synthesis. Some other actions like endothal herbicide, it inhibits the enzyme activity in seeds like amylase. Then sodium chlorate, it denaturates the plant protein. So these are certain herbicide mechanism. Selectivity of herbicide, what is activity and what is selectivity? Activity is the potency of herbicide to kill any plant, but selectivity is the selective killing of that herbicide, right? For certain weeds, that is selective, that is selectively control that weed. But for the non-selective herbicides, they are used in wasteland where crop are not grown, because they are non-selective herbicide. But as I said, selectivity is a relative term. So selectivity is due to differential in absorption, difference in translocation, differential deactivation, differential protoplasmic resistance, and there are certain multi-factor herbicide selectivity. So what is sublethal effect of herbicide? When we are applying herbicide in sublethal concentration, there are certain stimulatory effect like phenoxyherbicide, triazine, urease, uracils. When these herbicides are applied in sublethal dose, then there are certain like stimulatory effects on different crops are there. So first reported in 2,4-D when it is applied in 10 to 20 ppm, yield of beans increased 20 to 30%. It is also reported to increase growth, yield, protein content, carbohydrate content, moisture content, and oil, color, nitrate, and germination percentage also increases when it is applied in sublethal concentration for some herbicide and in some crops also. Then herbicide interaction. There are certain interaction when herbicides applied with other herbicide and other agrochemicals, like synergistic or additive effects. If two herbicides were applying that have more potential to grow to control weeds in a more selective way, then that is known as synergistic or additive effect. If two herbicides were applying and the control or selectivity is reduced, then that is known as antagonistic effect. Then herbicide, some synergistic effect of herbicides like 2,4-D along with chloropropan, 2,4-D with dicamba, 2,4-D with triazine, atrazine with halachlor. Then some antagonistic effect if in herbicide mixture like EPTC when applied with 2,4-D, 2,4,5-T or dicamba. Then simazine or atrazine when applied with glyphosate. Then paraquat when applied with glyphosate. Then herbicide antidote antagonistic, that is R257EE CDAA, reduced toxicity of alachlor, butylate. Then EPDC, then Na from like Na in decrease the activity of selectivity of barban, increase the selectivity but decrease the antagonistic effect of barban and EPTC. Then herbicide insecticide interaction like monouron and phosphorate, then metribuzin and phosphorate, these actually decrease yield when alachlor applied along with carbofuran, then monouron applied along with phosphorate, metribuzin or applied along with phosphorate or disulfuron, then it reduces yield. It has certain phytotoxic effect. Then herbicide fertilizer interaction, like if ammonium sulfate is increases the activity of glyphosate, ammonium sulfate increases the activity of glyphosate. So these are certain interaction, herbicide interaction with other agrochemicals. Then persistence of herbicide depends on herbicide residue and undesirability. So herbicide, fate of herbicide in soil, actually there after herbicide application, some herbicides they usually control the weeds and some are present in soil which readily decomposed by microbes, and there is chemical decomposition also and photo decomposition also. Then certain herbicides they are absorbed by soil colloid. Then certain herbicides they uptake by plants, certain herbicides they volatilize, certain leach, then certain herbicides they prone to surface runoff. What is the persistence of herbicide, different herbicide? I am giving some examples like 2,4-D, it is persistent for 2 to 3 weeks. MCPA, it persists for 6 to 8 weeks. Picloram is one of the most persistent herbicide. Management of herbicide residue in soil. How we can manage the herbicide residue in soil? So we have to apply optimum dose of herbicide. We have to apply like along with FYM. If we will apply it, then there will be microbial growth, and that will reduce the residual activity of herbicide. Then cultural practices, we can follow crop rotation, use of non-phytotoxic oil and cultivation. Then use of herbicide Safenor we can use. Then leaching of soil. In this way we can manage the herbicide residue in soil. So there are certain negative impact of herbicide on environment. Then what is integrated weed management? What is its advantage and components? Integrated weed management is when we are using different types of weed control measures, weed management measures like cultural, mechanical, and biological weed management or chemical weed management. These are in combination to effectively control weeds. Then that is known as integrated weed management. So what are the advantages of integrated weed management? We can take care of the environment. In integrated weed management we can effectively control weeds. Then there are certain disadvantages also in integrated weed management, because to integrate the weed management methods, the farmers must know what is the suitable combination of weed management and when to apply. These are certain limitations of integrated weed management, not disadvantages. These are certain limitations of integrated weed management. So what is control and what is management? In control we are actually controlling the weed, but in management we are keeping that weed below threshold level. Okay, what is below threshold level means if that weed weed flora exceed beyond threshold level, then there will be economic losses will be more in that case. So we have to check that weed growth below threshold level. So that is the main aim of weed management over control. Then herbicide resistance. So what is herbicide resistance? That is inherent ability of weed population to survive an application of herbicide that is normally lethal to that vast majority of individuals of that species. Suppose there is a group of weeds. So from that group of weed, a plant shows that it is actually the herbicide is effective to that group of weeds, but one plant that becomes resist to that herbicide application. Why is that so? So it has certain modification in gene or target site. That is how the herbicide resistance develop. First herbicide resistance was seen in atrazine resistance in common ground cell or Senecio vulgaris in 1970. What are the factors affecting herbicide resistance? The initial frequency of resistance individual, numbers of individual treated, mode of inheritance of the gene, and nature or extent of herbicide use. If we frequently use a herbicide, then there is a very chance of herbicide resistance development. So resistance to aryloxy, phenoxypropionate, and cyclohexandione, like these are the grass killers, like aryloxy, acetate, and cyclohexandione. These are the grass killers. Then SCCS inhibitors, like resistance to target site modification. Certain examples are Lolium rigidum, Avena fatua, Setaria viridis. Then resistance to acetolactate synthase. What are the herbicides which inhibit acetolactate synthase? Those are sulfonylurea, imidazolinone, triazolopyrimidine. So what are the resistance population? Like Lolium rigidum, what is the mechanism? Resistance due to enhanced metabolism mediated by cytochrome P450 mono dependent microsomal oxidase. Then resistance to PS2 herbicide. What are the PS2 herbicides? Triazines, triaginone, phenylurease, bentazone, uracil, etc. So what are the weeds? Those are shown resistance to PS2 herbicides: Abutilon thiophraste, Lolium rigidum, etc. Then what is the mechanism? Glutathione S transferase, cytochrome P450 monooxygenase, enhanced metabolism. Then multiple herbicide resistance also seen in Lolium rigidum, Avena, Myoceroid. Then management of herbicide resistance. How we can manage the herbicide resistance? We can go for IWM, integrated weed management. We can go for use of herbicide with different mode of action. We can use target transgenic herbicide resistance crop. We can use herbicide resistance crop, etc. Then herbicide resistance crop. What are the strains we use generally to develop herbicide resistance crop? Glyphosate resistance genes are there, like from soil bacterium, agrobacterium. The strain is CP4 strain. Glyphosate resistance like EPSP synthase. Okay. Then glyphosate oxidase gene, GOX gene from bacterium Achromobacter. That can be introduced in plants to produce glyphosate resistance crop. Then glyphosate resistance crops are generally soybean, cotton, maize. The glyphosate resistance maize was developed by Monsanto. Then bromoxynil resistance BXN gene, that is from Klebsiella azanae. So there are certain weed control and management in certain field crop and horticultural crop. You can go through them. Then problematic weed and aquatic weeds also you can go through textbook for detail. Then what is trap crop, what is catch crop? Generally catch crops are sacrificed, but trap crop are not. Trap crop actually used to release certain chemicals that induce the weed growth, so that we can kill that weed effectively or earlier. Then catch crop, it actually used as parasitic host for those weeds. So whenever the weed grow over them, then we have to control that catch crop. We have to remove that from the field. So that is sacrificed. Catch crop is sacrificed. Remember this point. So there are certain like objective questions. Let's discuss. Like alternate host of rice stem borer, we have already discussed Echinopsis species. Alternate host of black rust of wheat, that is Agropine or Ripen. Alternate host of ergot of bajra, Cenchrus ciliaris. Alternate host for hairy caterpillar in cotton, Crotalaria johnsia. Alternate host of lucerne leaf caterpillar, that is Acaranthus aspera. Then annual weed, which cypress species is annual? Cypress area. Then certain biennial weed, Chicoria mintivus is a biennial weed. World's worst weed is the term world worst weed was developed by Holm et al. Weed species exude a perfumed carbon compound into soil, which enhance the multiplication of denitrifying bacteria, that is purple nodsace or Cyperus rotundus. Starvation test in bioagents is done to test its why starvation test done in bioagents to test its host specificity. Biocontrol agent for Lantana camara are Crocidosema lantana, Teleonema scrupulosa, Logidorum spinensis. These are the biocontrol agent for Lantana camara. Then biocontrol agent for broom rape, that is Phytomyza species. Biocontrol agent for Dodor, Melan agromyza cuscuta. Biocontrol agent for water fawn, Cytovagus salviniae. Biocontrol agent for alligator weed, flea beetle or Agassical hygrophila. Biocontrol agent that attack Niger crop, Epiblema sternua. Then biocontrol agent for canary grass or Phalaris minor, Trichoderma viridae. Then biocontrol agent for Eichhornia, Neocytina brucei, Neocytina eichhornia. Biocontrol agent for Opuntia, Cactobactis cactorum, Dactylopius tomentus. Biocontrol agent for nodsace, Bacteria minima. Then fermented product of Streptomyces hygroscopicus that is used to control weeds, that is ABG 5003. Causes rust disease in Parthenium, that is Poxinia abrupta. Chloropicrin, that is tear grass, the formula is CCl3NO2. First synthesized herbicide, that is DNOC. 2,4-D synthesized by by whom? Zimmerman and Hitchcock. However, phytotoxicity of 2,4-D in wheat variety. Phytotoxicity of 2,4-D in wheat variety shown. Which wheat variety is shown phytotoxic to 2,4-D? Generally, 2,4-D is selective for wheat crop, but variety like Kundan and Arjun or SD2009, those are showing phytotoxic effect to 2,4-D. Then period for soil sterilization for temporary sterilization, that is 15 to 16 weeks. Permanent soil sterilant, that is sodium chlorate. Herbicide preferable to be sprayed in maize in dry areas, that is simazine. Algicides, which are the algicides? Copper sulfate, simazine, these are used as algicides. What is Agent Orange? N-butyl ester of 2,4-D or 2,4,5-T plus 2,4,5-T. N-butyl ester of 2,4-D plus 2,4,5-T, that is known as Agent Orange. What is green vitriol? Formula of green vitriol, FeSO4, ferrous sulfate. Then blue vitriol, copper sulfate. Then for potato dehalming, what is the chemical we used? Generally copper sulfate pentahydrate. Then what is epinasty symptom, and which herbicides are responsible for epinasty symptom? A drooping of upper portion of the plant, that is known as epinasty. Generally auxin herbicide do epinasty symptom. What is the herbicides which causes microtubule assembly inhibition? Those are pyridazine and dinitroaniline group. First reported herbicide resistance by RAN in 1970, that is triazine resistance in Cenosis vulgaris, that is also known as common ground cell. Triazine herbicides are generally PS2 inhibitors. So what are the herbicides that causes SCCS inhibition? Those are aryl oxyphenoxypropionate and cyclohexane dione group of herbicides. Then ALS inhibition is shown by sulfonyl urea herbicide groups. Then SP synthesis inhibition by glyphosate, that reduces declines the synthesis of tryptophan, tyrosine and phenylalanine. Selectivity of propanil in rice is due to aryl acyl amidase. In maize, selectivity of atrazine is due to what? Glutathione S transferase, right? Remember. Ammonia accumulation in plant due to glufosinate ammonium. Glufosinate ammonium is a non-selective herbicide, that is a contact herbicide. So it causes ammonia accumulation in plants. Electron diversion in PS1 is caused by paraquat, diquat, cypermethquat herbicides. Then dalapon causes decrease in pantothenic acid production. What is the trade name of atrazine? There are several trade names like Gilaprin, Atrataf, Solaro. These are the trade name of atrazine. What is Almix? Almix is a herbicide mixture, that is composition are sulfurin methyl plus chlorimuron ethyl. What is the composition of Atlantis? It is also a mixture, herbicide mixture, that is composed of metsulfuron methyl and iodosulfuron methyl. Then family of certain weeds and their family: Calotropis, Asclepidaceae, blue pimpernel, Primulaceae, Canada thistle, Asteraceae, red weed or Melochia, Sterculaceae. Then water hyacinth, Pontederiaceae, Lantana, Verbenaceae, Mexican poppy, Papaver, Chicory, Asteraceae, Phyllanthus, Euphorbiaceae, Pistia araceae, Anagalis arvensis, Primulaceae, puncture vine, Zygrophyllaceae. Then black nightshade or champy ground shade, that is Solanaceae. Striga, Scrofulariaceae. These are certain important family of weeds. Then American Society of Weed Science established in 1956. Indian Society of Weed Science established in 1968. Allelopathy is a Greek word which was given by Hans Mollis in 1937. 2,4-D mainly decomposed in biological method, mainly by Aspergillus niger. Combined effect of allelochemicals and competition, that is known as interference. Interference is the combined effect of allelopathy and competition. Okay, so facultative weeds are also known as apophytes. Alien or exotic weeds are also known as anthrophytes. The form of 2,4-D that is least degradable, that is 2,4-D ethyl ester. Herbicide group that is photodecomposed, that is dinitroaniline. Those are flucloraline, trifluralin, etc. Then origin of water hyacinth, that is Brazil, in tropical America. Sorghum halefens, the origin is South Africa. Opuntia introduced in India from Australia. Importance value index, that was proposed by Philip in 1959. Index of dominance, that is proposed by Simpson. Boiler coefficient was proposed by King. Puncture vine brought to India from Mediterranean region. African sleeping sickness, also called trypanosomiasis. So this is all about brief of weed science, weed management. You can go and refer to any standard textbook for weed science, and you can remember the examples and other different concepts. If you have not gone through other chapters, you can just watch them, and you can ask the queries if you have any. So till then, bye bye, have a good luck.